Scotty Reed, Black Talk Radio News. I'm judging from the internet, there seems to be quite a few people who are upset with the Super Bowl halftime show, which was put on by, I'm not sure the name of that white rock band or punk rock, I don't know, Coldplay I think is their name, but also Beyonce and a native Hawaiian, Bruno Mars, put on a program or a show honoring the contributions of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, which later became simply known as the Black Panther Party. Now, I don't know why these people are so upset. You know, what is the issue do they have with American history, with the Black Panther Party being a part of not just Black American history, but it's American history? Why do they have a problem with Black people honoring other Black people who made a great contribution for the cause of liberty and freedom for all? Now, I've heard some people say that, well, she shouldn't have politicized the event. Well, every NFL game, just as about every sports event in America, is politicized. When you have members of the military participating in, you got jets flying over, and all this is to use the sporting events to recruit more soldiers. All right, more people that's going to be cannon fodder in the United States military, which, by the way, has a huge problem with U.S. service members raping and sometimes killing other U.S. service members. All right, there's been congressional hearings on this. And that's not to mention all the crimes against humanity various members of the U.S. military commit against people all over the planet. But this is what gets me. These people want to whine, they want to complain, they want to make false allegations about people practicing racism or being terrorists or something to that effect. But yet, they don't see an issue with monuments and statues being all across the United States, especially Washington, D.C., where these monuments and statues are paying homage to racists, white supremacists, enslavers, land thieves, and genocidal maniacs. So, I am a student of history. I guess you could call me an amateur historian. And so I just have always loved reading real history and not just the lies or, the fairy tales that they put in school textbooks. And no, I look up this history. I search it out. There has been a lot of scholars who have put out a lot of good information over the internet, either through the schools that they're teaching at or through their own blogs and what. The history, the true history is there if one wants to seek it out. But let's go ahead and just talk about a few of these people that they pay homage to. Let's see, we got George Washington, a wealthy white racist who was so racist that his racism almost caused the American colonists to lose the Revolutionary War. He had a ban against free Black people as well as enslaved Africans from serving in the Continental Army. All right, it was only after it was evident to him that the Continental Army was vastly outnumbered by the British and their allies that only then did he allow Black people to join the Continental Army, who then came in and saved the day. So yes, white people, you have Black people and even enslaved Africans to thank for the creation of the United States. Without them, you would still be a British colony, or perhaps some other European power would be holding this land as a territory. Thomas Jefferson, another vicious white enslaver. Listen, this man was so immoral that he did not see an issue with purchasing his wife's half-sister, her half-sister, which was the product of her father raping an enslaved African woman, and this was indeed her half-sister. She, gets up in her teenage years, and here's Thomas Jefferson coming along and purchasing Sally Heming, from his father-in-law, which was in fact again his wife's half-sister, and he made a sex slave of her for the rest of his life. Okay, these are the people that are being honored with monuments and statues across America. Let's see, who else? Abraham Lincoln was an admitted racist white supremacist who believed falsely that black people were inferior to white people. We know from his letters and from military communications that he had no intentions of ending slavery. He begged and pleaded with the Confederacy to rejoin the Union, and they would keep their enslaved Africans. And he made this quite clear. The only sticking point that he had with them is the Abolitionist Party, which the Republican Party was founded as, and they're far from their roots today, so let's not even go there. But they did not want the institution of slavery to expand to the new territories, you know, as they was raping, killing, and stealing the land of yet even more Native Americans. Which reminds me, Benjamin Franklin once wrote that the white colonists should give alcohol to Native Americans so that he could get them drunk, and then it'll be easier for the colonists to go in and murder them and steal their land. Now, getting back to Lincoln, again, you know, Lincoln never intended to free not a single enslaved African. In fact, when the first all-black regiment was started in South Carolina, and the commander told all the black people in that area, all the enslaved Africans, they were free, Lincoln made him rescind that order and disband the first black regiment in the Union Army. It was only after the Union Army was losing to the Confederacy that he then give in to people like Frederick Douglass and allow black people, some of them already free, never been enslaved, but then some were formerly enslaved and escaped, and allowed them to join the Union Army. Once again, black people coming in, saving the United States of America. So my point is, before you open up your mouth to criticize Bruno Mars or criticize Beyonce for paying homage to a part of American history, which just happens to also be black history, perhaps you should check your own self and pull down these monuments and statues of these vicious, racist, white supremacists, all right, human traffickers, genocidal, land stealing maniacs, okay? So y'all ain't got no room to be criticizing anyone. In fact, you know, we know that most of this criticism is simply based on racism. This has been Scotty Reed, Black Talk Radio News. Join me for a regular broadcast on my radio program, Black Talk Radio News, at Black Talk Radio Network.